Um, I have two images that came out, so let me just talk to you about the images. We'll unpack them and then see how they relate to the cards, okay? First of all, what I'm seeing here is when I was shuffling out the first four cards here, I saw this man. He's got like his hiking gear, okay? So he's wearing like a it looks almost like a windbreaker, and he's dressed really warm. He has a beanie on. He has like khaki and like a pair of hiking boots, and he's got one of those walking sticks with him. So he looks really young, like 30, but he's going up this mountain. He's going up this really steep incline. The weather seems a little bit cold and kind of dewy, like misty. So all I see is the back of him. He's wearing khaki, like brown khaki pants, and like almost like a um orange yellow windbreaker with like, his backpack, and he's going up this mountain using the walking stick to kind of guide his way. And then as soon as he reaches the summit, the view pans out, and he's looking down below at this really beautiful lake. Okay, it's really far away, and there's it's just like sparkling blue lake. So on the ascension, so when he's going up the incline to reach the summit, everything felt really gray and, very wet and soggy and just uncomfortable and cold and a little bit like just soggy, just like uncomfortable. And I feel like, that might not be a comfortable place to be in, but he trudged on. He kept moving forward. And as soon as he got to the summit, he's like really on top of, the mountain, and everything just cleared up. So I started to see, a break in the sky, blue skies shimmering through, and then this beautiful view of this blue sparkling water down below. So he's looking at this lake in the distance, really far below him, and he's just like, this is an amazing view. And he takes in the view. He rests there for a moment, and he's kind of thinking, I really wish I have somebody to share this experience with me. Okay? And so when I saw that, I was thinking that everything in your life is going really splendidly well, especially when it comes to your career, because I feel like you're at that point where you've reached the summit, you've made it, you've trudged on, you have dealt with just a lot of changes in your work environment. I feel where things were a little bit hazy, a little bit muddled. You put one foot in front of the other, and you're just like, I'm going to cross that bridge when I get there. If there are obstacles, rocks strewn in your path, you've got that walking stick, and you just, kept going, and you knew the day would come where you can like be on top of that summit, claim your space and claim your territory, and especially claim your role in a specific situation, and being able to tell people your contributions, your assets, being able to kind of like conquer all the obstacles in the work environment. And you've made it. The sky is breaking, and there's like the patchy, the foggy, the overcast weather is moving out of the way, making way for blue skies. So I feel like for many of you, you're kind of like the it girl, the it guy when it comes to your career. People might come to you, ask for input, ask for counsel. And I do feel income generating potential is very, very high for you guys. Once again, that summit, okay? I also sense, when it comes to the summit, right? There's no place to go up, right? So you've already reached the top. And so for many of you, you might be at a point where you're kind of contemplating, the next mountain, the next hill, the next summit that you want to conquer. You might be already at some type of a peak of your income capability when it comes to a specific position, a specific job. No matter how much more you do, It's like there's an income cap, okay? And so you're thinking like, what's my next step? What's the next thing that I can conquer? What's the next location even that I can, see myself in? What's the change in career? I don't feel like it's a drastic change in career. I just feel like, can I jump from this summit to another one and keep ascending? Okay. So I do see a lot of ambition, a lot of hard work, a lot of dedication that you devote to when it comes to your craft and the things that you do. And I honestly feel like you're lone wolfing it because, with this man climbing that mountain by himself, um, people tend to, I feel like, hold you back. Okay. If you were left to your own devices, I feel like you can advance really fast. The professional sphere or your work life, I feel like it's always a steady climb, and that area has always gone really really well. Okay, so I feel for many of you, you've made it professionally. You're exactly where you want to be. You've already maxed out, even for many of you, and you're thinking about like the next stage. Okay, the next evolution of your professional life. On the other hand, whenever you have a partner in your life, I feel for many Aries people, it's really hard to be in a relationship because it involves a lot of compromise. It involves a lot of patience. It involves a lot of like um, discussions and, emotional exchange. And I feel like you don't have time for that. I feel like it doesn't, it, I feel like you feel going through life, not everything has to be a discussion. Why can't we just, be on the same page and move forward? Why do we have to talk about every little thing? Why do we have to, um, it's like kicking a dead horse. Like if there's like a snag in the relationship, we have to sit there and talk it out and talk through it. Why do we have to do those things? We can just agree to disagree and move on. So I feel like you might not have put in the proper time, the proper nurturing, the proper amount of patience in order for your relationship to foster or to thrive and to grow and to build the way that your professional life has been. Okay. And so I feel like a lot of you have kind of compensated, pouring a lot of your time and resources and energy and just mental power progressing in that professional space, and the emotional side, I feel like it's put on the back burner. It's also might have been neglected, and it might not have just been important enough for you to really take it seriously. And because you're pouring your energy into work, income, money, and things like that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like for the month of December, and we're hedging towards the holiday season, and a lot of the times we have like family gatherings, friends gathering, Christmas parties, and everyone is there with their significant other, with their spouse, with their children, and everyone is projecting this image of a happy home. And I feel, especially for those of you who are single, you're gonna feel a little bit of like the pangs of jealousy. It's sort of like, I'm hot stuff. I'm successful. I'm really, really thriving professionally. Why am I still single? Like, I feel that energy coming out. Okay. And then I also feel like a lot of you are reminiscing as well, about past relationships. Like, that was a really nice person. Why didn't things work out? Or that was one person that I really, really cared for. Why didn't it work out? Okay. And so there's a little bit of a mixed bag here, and that's why I mentioned, this is a very much like a relationship reading, because I see you making a lot of money, finances is flowing very smoothly, and it's just the relationship hiccups and the relationship sector that requires a little bit more work. Okay, so let me just point out a few things here. We have here the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is pretty much, you're in a space of like financial abundance, okay? Financial stability. For many of you, you're in a position where you're contemplating buying property. You might have your own property that you're taking really good care of. You might be in a physical property that is growing tremendously in property value, okay? So something is appreciating very, very fast. And so you're sitting on a pile of money, and I literally see the Scrooge and sitting on his pile of coins. Okay, you have a lot of assets, you have a lot of just a lot of income, a lot of disposable income as well to do whatever you want, to take trips, to plan extravagant vacations. And I do see a lot of planning, a lot of dreaming, a lot of like thinking about what could be, thinking about the next step, and yet you're still sitting on this pile of money. And so I would say, take that money and do something with it. Travel, see the world, do whatever it is to expand your horizon. Go hiking somewhere in an exotic location, whatever it is to clear your mind and to, reward yourself. Okay. I feel that you're literally sitting on a pile of money. You could invest it. You could, consult a financial advisor. You could, I do feel that spiritually and emotionally, you might need a vacation and you might want to go. It's like, taking that leap of faith and going on a vacation or taking a big trip, like an extravagant trip. I feel, especially for those who are single, you really want to save that trip for that special person that you really want to, travel with. You want your trip to be, romantic. You want it to include another person. And so you're waiting, waiting, waiting. And in the meantime, you're just sitting on a pile of money. Okay. Which is great. There's no complaints there. The other thing that I was seeing as well is, what was that image? Okay. So going back to, the man in the summit, and he's kind of thinking to himself, I wish I had somebody to share this moment with. Okay. I feel almost like this image of the odd man out. Okay. There's something about you coming through for the month of December where you're feeling a little bit out of sorts. You're feeling a little bit out of place. You're feeling like you're not really connecting with the people around you. You're feeling like where you are and where they are aren't on the same wavelengths, okay? And what that means to me is this sense of awkwardness, not knowing what to say. Somebody could be telling you a story and you're just like, that doesn't really interest me. I don't know how to make conversation. I don't know what else to say. I don't want to feign interest, but at the same time, I don't want to be rude. So I do see that element coming in where there's like an emotional disconnect with the topics being discussed, with the people that you're relating to. And I feel like, it has nothing to do with the other person. It's just you're at a time in your life where your priorities are different, where the things that you care about are different. And so I do feel as well, seeing everybody around you, people who are married, people with children, and especially for those who are single, you're going to feel a little bit like, is there something wrong with me? Am I not dateable? Am I not marriage material? Am I not in a position where somebody would, want to honestly like offer me commitment? So that's what I'm seeing here. And what I have here is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups is options, possibilities, as well as like all the things that we feel the world is opening up to us. Okay, like doors opening, paths opening, new people coming into the picture, being offered left and right, being given like invitations, being the life of the party pretty much. Okay, and we have here the Four of Swords, and the Four of Swords is some type of a rest, some type of a stoppage when it comes to communication, some type of a situation where we are actively putting ourselves out there, but somehow energetically there's a disconnect. There's like an emotional discordance between you and the interaction between you and another person. Or some of you might be, like in online dating, might be really putting yourself out there, might be having multiple suitors coming at your door, but for whatever reason, I feel like the communication is not really flowing. The emotional connection is not there. And you're also wondering, being blinded, okay? With the blindfold on, okay? Being blinded and not knowing what to say, not knowing, like, we're not really connecting emotionally. What can I say? What can I do? And just feeling that sense of like, just feeling like the options around you are not 100% solid options. Okay, so you're in a space where you might be seeing a lot of people. You have a lot of people interested in you, but for whatever reason, these options in your mind you feel are lacking. And this is not to say that you're, turning your nose up at these options. I feel like these options are lacking in that emotional connection. And another thing that I really want to warn you about, okay, and this is like something that is very prominent with Aries, Sagittarius, and Scorpios that I've seen lately, sometimes Aquarius as well. And the energy is, if it doesn't start out in a burst of fireworks and chemistry and passion and excitement, it doesn't feel enough for you. Does that make sense? So I want you to be a little bit careful about that, because whatever starts out really fast in a passionate fervor, it will burn itself out. Okay. It fizzles out and you're going to end up feeling very depleted. And so I feel as if in the past you might have had really exciting, passionate relationships. And on the heels of the passionate relationship, a normal, healthy relationship might seem a little bit dull, might seem a little bit like just bleh, flat, like something flatlining. And so you are trying to recapture that excitement, that passion in some type of a past relationship, trying to foster that and trying to seek that in the current options that you have. And I just want to urge you to really think about, more about compatibility, more about long term, more about like the stability in a situation for the long haul. So needless to say, when we are interacting with another person, everything takes time, right? It takes us a long time to really know another person. And so we might, inadvertently say that, oh, somebody, this conversation is very flat. This person is very vanilla, or this person is very bland, and pass up on a really good opportunity. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm trying to say here, because I feel like you're craving something extraordinary. You're craving something out of this world. You're craving something that is really passionate, that is all fireworks and fizz and just, a whirlwind romance. And I feel that you have people around you who are a little bit more innocent, who are very sweet, and you're aware of that. And you don't feel like they're partnership material just because they don't immediately exhibit these qualities that you're looking for. You have some really sweet people around you. I have here the Page of Cups. This is someone who's like, I want to say, I usually think of this as somebody who's very inexperienced when it comes to love, relationships, intimacy. Okay. It's somebody who's like, I want to say a little bit naive. They see the best in people. They're the types of people that go around thinking that like, oh, nobody cheats, nobody really cheats. They're not a cheater. They're very sincere, very sweet. And there's letters and cups and messages. So this is a person that is very much interested in you. They would text you good morning. They would text you, good night before you go to sleep. They spend a lot of time to, I want to say, catch your attention. They also put in a lot of work and a lot of effort in order to court you. And you're going to know who this is because, their intentions are very pure. They're very straightforward with you. But I also feel like you're behaving like this, Eight of Swords, turning a blind eye, not really taking this person, very seriously. not feeling like this person is experienced enough or mature enough to be with you, and not feeling like they are relationship potential. Because I feel for many of you in the realm of love and relationship and dating and, sexual connections, intimacy, you guys are very experienced. You might have dated a lot of people. You might know exactly, what you want. You might, you might go for a specific type, and for whatever reason, this person you feel is like outside of your type, okay? Not exactly your type. You might feel that, oh, they're too nice, or they're too naive, or they're too inexperienced. I don't know if they're going to be able to satisfy me. Things like that. And I don't really see this for a lot of the signs, but I do sense, with Scorpios, with Aquarius, with Sagittarius and Aries, this energy comes out a lot where you feel like this person, in terms of life experience, they don't really have anything to offer me. They're not super exciting, and I want a little bit more excitement. And so be careful of passing over a very good thing, a really good person, and a potential for a very strong, solid relationship. So, don't judge a book by its cover, because I feel like there's a lot more here to be uncovered. And there's a lot of satisfaction that can be had in this situation, because I feel like there's a lot of harmony associated with this person, okay? I feel like they're actively courting you. I feel that they're aware that you have a lot of options. I feel like there's also an age difference between you and this person. I feel that they are very sweet. Okay, like if it's a man, this is somebody who is like treats women really well, loves his mother, calls her. This is somebody that open doors for the people in their lives. They seat you down. They put a coat on you when you're cold. They open the door for you. Not that you need any of these things, but this is somebody who's just like really caring. And you might feel like this is mushy. You might feel like this is cheesy. Okay, but I do sense that it says a lot for a person, about a person, when they treat their mothers right, when they treat their sisters well, when they treat like their family members and the people in their life with the utmost respect, because they're ready to be a relationship partner. But in some way, you might find this a little bit like bland, a little bit like, I'm not sure if I want to get involved. And I also feel as well, sometimes they text you and you might not even return the text because you're not 100% emotionally invested in this person.